Get ready. Get set. It's time for the Basement View. What's up? What's up? What's up? It is Monday. My goodness. Man, this week is going by. I mean, month and everything. Jesus, fast. The 18th of November. Man, hey, Carmen. I'm convinced, Carmen. I'm convinced. This is your fault. It's your fault. Buffalo won. You turned away from the game. You took away your support. Kansas City couldn't take it. So, this is your fault. Hey, Lisa, what's up? How's it going? Man, I gotta tell you, I believe that so don't blame you. Yeah, well, sorry. Too late. Hey, what up, James? Sorry. Too late. It's your fault. You should have kept watching the game. We needed you. Shoot. Who's playing today? Oh, this is a Texas game tonight. Houston and Dallas playing tonight. Gonna have to check that out. So how's everybody? How y'all doing? Everybody good? Everybody still here and healthy? I'm assuming that's the case because that's the way I want it to be. I want y'all to be nice and healthy and happy. I'm gonna try to be that way anyway. Gonna start off tonight. I tell you what, yeah, alive, yeah. I believe you. Ooh, I believe that, alive, yes. Gonna start off this evening with some silliness again. I think I'm gonna start doing that. Just start the evening off with some silly shit, cause I love that damn social media. That social media is some funny stuff. Check this young man out right quick. Well, that was crazy. Lisa thinks the Illuminati's gonna get us. The Illuminati? I don't think the Illuminati's gonna spend any time worrying about us. You know, we ain't big enough fish in the pond to be worried about. You know, the Illuminati, they got bigger things on their mind than us little fish. You know, and you know, it is what it is. and something else I want to show y'all. This caught my eye too. Funny as hell to me. Check this out.
I swing quicker than Federer. I serve packing the bands back on the regular. And I'ma tell her how she sing for me G-Pain. Your mama's hooked on the packs, I'll be selling her. I click Emma's and bang 'em and I'm not sing. I feel his head with the lead like a mukbang. The magazine made me lean when I walk and the drumstick will make a head bang like a punk band. Hop in the cab, I'm banging me crossword up. Head in the west and I'm banging the posh bird. Couple of cans and a puff on me death stick. Click on me fingers, he's cutting me cough dead. Bringing the bow bells, bringing the website. I'm flinging the dry food, bringing the cassette. They're belling me non-stop, sending the lads there. Hopping me drop top, I'm running the man down.
The boys was getting it, wasn't they? Man, them boys was getting it. That social media shit, that's good stuff. It's good stuff. Okay. Hey, was that something, man? Wow, yeah. So, anyway, I want to talk about something right quick, and that is beliefs. Hey, Charles, what's up? I want to talk about beliefs and our belief system and how we um, determine what we believe, and do we ever investigate what we believe. Whoa, shit, I just lost a light. That's crazy. Anyway, we're going to live through it. That's just what happens. Hey, you know what? That's the shit that happens. Anyway, um, when we believe something, that's the hardest thing in the world to change once we believe it. Once we believe it and get it in our head, that's just it's just the way it is. I'm going to play a clip from a conversation between, I don't know if any of you know who Eddie Glaude is, but Eddie Glaude is a professor, university professor, and he's talking to Stephanie Rule. And I want to play this right quick, this conversation. And it's a pretty powerful conversation. Check it out.
We were all so blindsided by the election results. Does that tell us that identity politics is silencing people? Because even I can see in my social media feed in the last couple of days, all these people are suddenly like, yeah, that was my guy. We're hearing stories in the suburbs the day after the election. People are now putting Trump signs up.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, but let's be clear, Trumpism is a form of identity politics.
Amen.
We don't want to say that my beautiful white skin, remember? That's what he said?
Yes.
Tucker Carlson saying in Madison Square Garden, we have been given permission to call BS on this wokeism stuff. We will no longer be made to feel guilty. That comes straight out of, we will not be replaced. That came straight out of Tucker
Carlson. There were a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump who didn't listen to the rally and who don't know who Tucker Carlson is, but who are super unhappy about inflation, that they can't afford their lives, and they voted for him. And they're not buying into fascism.
I get that, but I think they have an idea, though, that whenever the incoherence of the country comes into full view, the tricky magic of falling into place, falling behind a notion of whiteness that could hold off all the reason why all hell is breaking loose economically, right, is because big government is putting its thumb on the scale and redistributing resources from deserving people to undeserving people, right? So there's this sense, right, that whiteness, right, is under threat. The demographic shifts. The country isn't what all of these racially ambiguous children on Cheerios commercials are confusing the hell out of me.
A lot of people voted because their life's too damn expensive, and it was here, and
they voted for. You're telling me that all of these people who believe that their lives that bread is too high and eggs are too high, that they voted for a convicted felon, a guy who said we can grab the pea.
I think that a lot.
They voted for this guy.
I'm not defending it. But I think there are tons of people that don't pay attention to, and I'm not defending it, don't pay attention to politics at all. But while we live in the most prosperous country in the world, people are saying, life's not fair, I'm not doing well, my son's still living in the basement, I can't seem to get a job, I don't like the status quo, I'm voting for something else, and he was the person.
I love you to life,
I love you.
But I do not believe that. I cannot believe that. And the reason I think you believe it is because you don't want to believe that that's what's really motivating them. It's always the case. People don't want to believe what the country actually is, because if they believe it, they're going to have to confront what's in them. I don't believe that. They voted for a crook, a person who they know is stealing from, just doing everything to undermine the so-called country that they love. And then they're telling us the BS that it's economics. We know that's not true. We know it's not true. And we got to raise our kids in this shit. Oops.
You're allowed.
Go ahead.
Oh, man. You say you saw that episode, huh? Yeah. Hey, I just happened to see that particular clip today, and it struck me as amazing how this woman, Stephanie Rule, which, she's a pretty decent person as far as I know, she simply refuses, as is a lot of people. I'll say that a lot of people refuse to understand what happened in that election. They just don't want to believe it. Economics had nothing to do with that election. The economy, nothing at all. It was one thing, and that was preserving white America. That's it. That's the only thing that was. Pure and simple. Now, what you believe may be something else, and that's the thing about beliefs. You know, most of the time, we get the idea of something and hold on to it. We hold on to it tooth and nail and never actually go look in the mirror and find out if what we believe is true or not. Now, every single thing in the world, everything in the world is right there in front of your face. You know, you can ignore it all you want and believe what you want. But it is to all of our advantage to stop and investigate what we believe and find out if we are truly believing in the right thing. Because understand something, a lot of people don't get this one point. That is, what you believe and the truth may not be together. See, the truth might be way away from what you believe. You see, we need to start investigating and finding out if those things that we believe are true or not. Because I remember back when Biden won, hearing the lady say, I simply don't believe he got 80 million votes. Well, what you believe has nothing to do with it. You know? And that's often the case. What somebody believes. Now, Eddie Glaude, Stephanie was not going to understand that the majority of these people that voted the way they voted, it had nothing to do with the economy. It had nothing to do with how much eggs cost. You know, that's the bullshit. That's the smoke in the mirrors. See, that's the smoke and mirrors. That shit didn't have nothing to do with the economy. Okay? That was simply white America saying, no ma'am, no sir, we're going to preserve this nice white. The man literally talked about the beauty of the whiteness of his skin. You know, he said all the right things to get the word out. And it worked, you know. So we can't be mad. We can't be mad. You just got to deal with it now. And I tell you what, I ran across a clip from doggone, what's his name? Something Smiley. Anyway, Ricky Smiley. Yeah, I'll play that Wednesday. Oh, that's a doozy. Oh, Ricky Smiley hit it on the head. Anyway, but the point I was trying to make is we all of us. I do it simply because I get asked a lot of things. And sometimes I simply have to say I don't know. And sometimes I'll say something that I believe, and I'll say it that way. What I believe is this. But usually what I'll do is I will go and I will look at statistics. I will dig up history to see if it matches what I believe. You know, don't just believe something just because I feel it in my heart. You know, what you feel in your heart might be indigestion. Okay? So don't just go with that shit just because. All right? And let's be honest. This election, America said what America said. And I guarantee you the rest of the world know. I guarantee you the rest of the world know. And black people, you better know. Okay? So, and if you got any doubt about what this man intend to do, as far as once he gets in office, I'm going to read some more of Project 2025 tonight. Matter of fact, I'm going to get into that in a few minutes. I'm going to make that short as I can. But also, the man has been picking his cabinet, right? He's been picking his cabinet. Anybody seen his cabinet that he's been picking? Let's have a look at it. Now, this is the cabinet, okay? Now, take a look at that cabinet and tell me what you see. And tell me what you don't see. There's an absence of something in that cabinet. And he's picked that many people at this point. So, you tell me what this guy plans to do. I think it's pretty damn obvious what he's doing. I think it's pretty obvious. So, hey, you can believe what you want to believe, but when it's right there in front of your face, an absence of qualified applicants. Well, that too. Well, understand something. That's by design as well. Okay? You're gonna put a guy that, was having sex with minors in charge of the Justice Department. Okay? You're going to put a guy in charge of fracking, in charge of the energy department, energy. Hey, it is. When the man's showing you, believe it. When the man is showing you, believe it. So, and somebody in charge of intelligence that has no intelligence. So, okay, what can I tell you? Not a popular place with the brothers and sisters. You know what? Now, I wouldn't know about that. It's probably more popular than I would think. One thing I do know, you don't see Byron Donalds or Tim Scott. Now, we know the reasons that you don't see Byron Donalds or Tim Scott. Byron Donalds is too smart to work directly for Trump. See, Byron Donalds is not stupid. Now, Trump owed Byron Donalds, but Trump is not loyal to anybody. So Byron Donalds is just going to enjoy being a congressman and getting whatever crumbs he can scrape off the table from Trump. See, I don't expect to see Byron Donalds in the cabinet because he knows he doesn't want to work directly for Trump. I don't think that's the case. I think Byron Donalds is just too smart for that because you don't want to give up a Congress seat to go work for a guy that can fire you today just because he woke up and saw you first. So that's Byron Donalds. Now Tim Scott, good and damn well he don't want Tim Scott. He know Tim Scott ain't loyal worth the fuck, and because Tim Scott turned his back on the lady that gave him his job, and Tim Scott too fucking stupid. He don't want nobody dumb as Tim Scott around him. So, we know why those two aren't in the cabinet. But explain to me why there's none in the cabinet, okay? The minute you understand why there's none in the cabinet at this point. Now, if he hires somebody next month or next week or whatever, you know, that will say something too. That's one of those, well, somebody told me I needed to do it things. But let's face it. They already said they ain't about diversity, inclusion. They ain't about none of that. Equity my ass. They done already told you that. They done already said we not about that. We ain't about no diversity. Fuck diversity. So that's where we are. That's where we are. Anyway, all right. I'm going to get into some of this Project 2025 just a little bit. Just to keep it fresh. Got to keep it fresh. Got to break down what some of it means, cuz a lot of people don't know what some of it means. Okay? So, let's get at it. All right, tonight I'm going to discuss the Department of Homeland Security. Now, Department of Homeland Security is FEMA, the border, immigration, TSA at the airports, all of that stuff. All of that stuff's in there. So let's get into it. And this is on page 133, okay, of the Project 2025 handbook. Okay. Now, this is the first sentence. Okay? This is the first sentence in this chapter. Our primary recommendation is that the president pursue legislation to dismantle the Department of Homeland Security. Now, if you need to know anything more than that, shame on you. If you believe something different, shame on you. When they tell you what they intend to do, I suggest you believe them. When they show you by the people they're picking for positions, I suggest you believe them. Okay. Listen, breaking up the department along its mission lines will provide opportunities to reduce overhead and achieve more limited government. More limited government. We are dismantling this government. That's what that's about. That's what it's about. And again, if you think any different, shame on you. Let's check this out. Page 135. The bloated Department of Homeland Security bureaucracy and budget with the wrong priorities provide real opportunities for a conservative administration to cut billions in spending and limit the government's role in Americans' lives. And when they say Americans' lives, they mean theirs. Because there's nothing you or I doing that Homeland Security would be involved in. They're the only ones that doing anything on a scale that would have Homeland Security involved in it. Understand this. This is, black and white. Let's see. These opportunities include privatizing TSA screening and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the National Flood Insurance Program. So, what does that say? We're going to let big corporations come in and take over TSA screening, FEMA, and the National Flood Insurance Program. That's going to be run by some company that don't give a damn about you. Understand the reason these agencies, understand why these agencies are not private companies now. The reason that is because there's a difference between private corporations and government. Government has to care about people. Government has to put rules in place that take people into account. Private corporations don't give no fucks about people. The only thing they care about is the bottom line. Okay? That's what this is all about. This is all about sending tax dollars out of the government and getting it into the hands of whoever. You know? Let's see. Reform FEMA in emergency spending to shift the majority of preparedness and response costs to states and localities instead of the federal government. Eliminating most of the department's grant programs. So they're going to eliminate grant programs that may be falling under that branch of government. And removing all unions in the Department for National Security purposes. Now, what is a union and national security? Why is the issue with unions and national security? A union entity has nothing to do with national security. There's no risk there. That's just a bullshit ass smokescreen. That's one of those. What were we talking about recently? That's one of those boogeymen. Ooh, the union is a national security risk. Nah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Because what is a union? People. That's it. You got to have people in the role, right? What's the union got to do with it? They intend to remove all unions. Now understand something. This is under Department of Homeland Security. But don't think this is not the plan for every other department in the United States government. Okay? That's what this is about. They intend to shift all of the costs to the states. Now, if you live in a poor state, imagine an emergency in Mississippi and there's no FEMA. Okay? They're going to shift all the costs to states and localities. What happens when a tornado runs through Mississippi or hurricane and there is no FEMA? And all of the costs are left up to the state of Mississippi. Really? And for those of you who do not know, yes, Mississippi is the poorest state in the country. And it's kept that way on purpose. Okay? So this is the plan, folks. This is the plan. check this out. The secretary, right in the secretary's office, Secretary of Homeland Security, expansion of dedicated political personnel. We're going to expand political appointees. We're going to make sure that we got plenty of our own thinkers in the department. We're going to take an aggressive approach to Senate-confirmed leadership positions. So they now have the Senate. They're going to expand dedicated political personnel. And here's an example. If they have an issue in the Senate, they prepare for everything. If there's any difficulty getting somebody through confirmation, like a Matt Gaetz, Matt Gaetz is, from what I could imagine, would have a real hard time being confirmed as an attorney general. But here's the plan for that. The administration should place its nominees in an acting position. And that will go right around Senate confirmation. Just make them acting attorney general. There you have it. You end up with Attorney General Matt Gaetz. Crazy, huh? But they got a plan for it. Here's another one. Restructuring and redistribution of career personnel. That would be, they could strengthen political decision making and ensure that these people in different places, when they say redistribution of personnel, that means in every office of every department. Okay? Each department has X amount of offices. They may have satellite offices out around the states. This means redistributing all of their people around the country. Okay? Making sure every office, if they keep that office open, every office that they keep open will have their people in it. And this one got me right here. Replacement of the entire Homeland Security Advisory Committee. The Secretary should plan to quickly remove all current members and replace them as quickly as feasible. Now, when they write it down and hand it out for you to read, believe them. That's it. When they write it in black and white and hand it to you and say, here, this is what I plan to do. Right here. Believe them. Man, got to secure and control the border. Thoroughly enforce immigration laws. Provide states and localities with limited federal emergency response and preparedness. They're going to put the states out on their own. Now, states like Indiana, they're going to be pissed. They're going to be pissed when this happens. Because Indiana literally has tons of money on the books. Indiana has got tons of money on the books. And they like it that way. They don't want to start using their own goddamn money. on emergencies around the state? Are you kidding me? They love it. Now you finna drop that cost on them? But hey, that's part of that fuck around and find out thing. You know? That's all part of it. So, this is where we are. This is where we are. So I'm gonna call it good with that one. And Wednesday, I'll bring back some more until we get through this Project 2025. I'm only going to bounce on a little bit of it at a time, but I'm going to try to get through most of it because this is important shit, okay? And we need to hear it. We need to say it. Need to get it in our heads. When we see these things happening, you can understand what effect it would have on you. Okay? That's the whole idea of me doing this shit. Just so, okay, TSA. If they privatize TSA, that's going to be some corporation. Okay? What corporation? What corporation is the rules? What rules the corporation going to have? How they going to act? You know? Whose corporation is it going to be? Is it going to be the corporation that is in bed with one of these guys? Of course it is. Goddamn right it is. So, this is why, you know, we need to know because, you know, you can plan for shit and understand how it affects you. So, anyway, I'm going to leave that there. And especially since one of my lights just failed. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, as usual, if you got something for me, send it to me. I'm getting ready to go and watch some football. I hope you all have a nice evening. It's cold and wet up in this motherfucker, and it's pissing me off because I'd much rather be out enjoying some stuff. But anyway, you all have a good one. Take it easy. Oh, by the way, thanks for paying me some attention. Talk to you later.